I've been trying to get more comfortable with going outside and shooting videos in public. I don't know, there's just like something about going outside and holding my camera and talking to my camera that just pulls in so many side eyes. It's like people really can't mind their business. And I don't really blame them because like when I see other people shooting videos, like I kinda wanna look at them like what are you doing? My mind plays this game on me where it's like telling me you look like a flaming influencer in the world and everyone is staring at you. But it's like there's nothing wrong with that. Like if I'm going to continue doing this and I will continue doing this, I have to, get very comfortable with the fact that people will make assumptions, people that I don't even fucking know. So that was one of the motivations behind the adventure in this video. I wanted to go out and I wanted to shoot myself in public and just get more comfortable with shooting myself in public. The second motivation was I just wanted to be an aesthetic city girl on a budget. I was scrolling through TikTok as one with a very short attention span does before he goes to bed. And I came across this video from this content creator and she was advertising
The Museum Mile Festival. From 82nd Street to 105th Street on 5th Avenue is the Museum Mile with some of NYC's best museums. June 13th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. museums will have free admission.
which is great. Mind you, this is the same strip that has, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Jewish Museum, the Museum of New York City, the African Center, the Guggenheim Museum, like all these very notable museums. And I had this big idea. I was like, I'm going to go there and I'm going to walk down this strip and I would go into as many museums as I could possibly get into, and I will absorb as much art as I could absorb. And I'm going to come back home and I'm going to make this introspective video about how my mind has changed after absorbing so much art. As I'm now seeing the whole and rest of New York is also here to do the exact same thing. I don't think it's worth the investment. So I couldn't even get into any museums. I couldn't even do anything. Nothing happened. So today is Tuesday, and my goal is to finish this video by Thursday. And I don't even know what this video is going to be about. But I have some clips that I took throughout the process of the disappointment. So I'm going to try to figure out what to do with that. So this would be as much an unraveling process for you as it's going to be for me. In December of 2021, this was like towards the end of the pandemic. We're still getting there, we just hadn't reached there. My brother and I went back to Nigeria to spend the Christmas holiday with my family. And it was a really fun time. We saw family, saw friends that I haven't seen in a really long time, and it was such an amazing experience. One of the great things about living in New York City as a creative is that you can literally wake up in the morning and stick your hand out the window and just record, and that's going to be content. Much less when you go to more touristy areas like this. So I'm hoping that this video contains a decent amount of city porn. Like I said, it was still during that COVID time, so those strict guidelines were still up. You needed to get tested before leaving the US. You needed to get tested when you're coming back into the US. I'm not even sure what this is actually turning out to be. Our trip ends, and we needed to get tested to get on the plane to come back to the US. And my dad finds this testing center that was available. Mind you, we had 3 days before we had to hop on our flight back to the US. He finds this testing center and we go there, and I'm not very confident about this place because one of my friends had told me that this place in particular sometimes they would give you inaccurate results. But it was what was available at the moment, so we didn't really stress about it. We just went to get tested. They take the cotton swab down my esophagus. I'm almost crying, that whole situation, but we get tested at the end of the day. We go back home, and like I said, this is 3 days before we have to hop on the flight. So day 1 goes by, day 2, day 3 goes by, our test results still hadn't come out. We were in Port Harcourt, and we needed to take a flight from Port Harcourt to Lagos, and then from Lagos to the US. We're in the car on that day that we're supposed to travel, going to the airport to Port Harcourt to take the flight from there to Lagos. And my dad finally gets a notification on his phone that the test results had come out. For some reason, he was the only one who had access to the portal or whatever. I don't think it's worth the investment. So he opens up his phone, he puts in the information, and he pulls up my brother's test result because that's the first one that comes up. And my brother's result is fine, he's negative. He's like, George, here's your COVID result. He gives my brother his COVID result, he sends it to him via email, and he's scrolling down to look for my own COVID result. And he finally gets to my COVID result, and he gets quiet. He's like, Reynolds, yo says you're positive.
I'm wondering if I should just pack my stuff up and go home, because I don't even know what I'm doing here.
And the whole air in the car just like leaves. Everyone is quiet, and I'm like looking at everyone, and everyone is panicking. Because one, I'm possibly positive, meaning I will probably infect everyone in the car. And two, we're literally on our way to the airport.
And I'm just gonna keep walking, and then if I see one museum at least that I could get into, that would be the goal.
So while everyone is panicking, in my head I'm like, there's no way that I'm not getting on this plane back to the US, because one, I have to go to school, and two, like, you know, the holiday was nice and fun, but I'm over it. So at the moment while everyone is panicking, I pull out my laptop and I open Photoshop. I can't believe I'm about to admit to possible crime on the internet, but I open Photoshop and I take my brother's result and I impose it on my result. And I take out the part that says negative on his result, I crop it out, and I put it on my own result. Now my COVID result is finally saying that I am negative. Everyone's a little calm. My parents aren't too worried. They're like, we just want you to go back to school, go back to the US, trust my African parents. So my result is finally saying that I'm negative. We get to the airport in Port Harcourt. We take the flight from Port Harcourt to Lagos. We get to Lagos, and my brother's like looking at his COVID result, and he sees this QR code on the COVID result. And he scans his COVID results QR code, and it takes him to a different website that pulls up his result again. So now we realize that there's a two-factor situation here. Like, they're going to look at your COVID result, and they scan it. They scan the QR code, and then they see it again on their end. So my brother was fine because his was negative, and when he scanned it, it still pulls up on that negative result. But mine is different because my Photoshop version is negative, but when you scan it, it takes you to a positive result. So again, we're panicking.
You don't realize how much people actually live in this city. And then you come out one day and Jesus Christ.
In the midst of panicking, I'm like thinking, because I had taken a web design class, I start like building out a website to add this COVID result in. So I build out this sketchy website, and I'm able to upload a PDF of my fake COVID result into that website. Now when you log onto that website, it shows you my fabricated COVID result. And my brother was able to figure out a way to like create a QR code from the website, and he creates a QR code. So we carry that QR code again and impose on the fabricated COVID result. So now my COVID result says negative, and when you scan it, it takes you to that website that I created with the second fake COVID result. We get to the airport in Lagos, and my brother goes first. They scan his result, and it shows negative on both ends. They let him go. And then it was my turn, and they scanned my COVID result, and it says negative, and I was able to go by. And that was how I was able to get on the flight back to the US. But when you think about it, like, I didn't really commit a crime, because when I came back to the US, I did a test again because I needed to go back to school, and I was actually negative. So that's to say that, you know, the test was actually a false in the first place.
I'm honestly ready to go home now.
The moral of the two stories that you have heard and seen is that, you know, sometimes when you set out to do something, you're not always going to be met with the circumstances that you expect, and you might not get the results that you desired. But it's important that you don't give up and you make lemonade with the lemons that you are given. In my COVID situation, I just did what I had to do to get to where I needed to get to. I'm not telling anyone to do anything illegal. Like, I didn't send you. And in the situation with my Museum Mile adventure, I've still been able to make a video, which I hope that in some way entertains